Hi, my name's Andrew Squilari. I'm not too sure if you're wondering, but one of my friends was asking me a few questions. So I just wanted to answer those questions so that you can get to hear my responses to what is puzzling him. One of the questions is, what is the significant events that's happened over the last 12 months? Why has my super balance been dropping? What are the expectations given COVID-19 for super accounts in Australia and over the next 12 months? And what solutions does DAXI have? Now, I was thinking about those questions, and they're not just a 5-second question and answer, unfortunately. Now, the significant events of the last 12 months really date back to 1944. We are here now because of the events back in Bretton Woods Agreement back in 44 after World War II. And even more so when Nixon took the gold standard off the American dollar back in 1971. And the governments of the world don't really value what our effort, time and work is, and linking that to some type of value. So the printing money, the current monetary systems and processes that the world have, all have come to a point where something was going to happen anyway. And that something has sped up the process, being COVID-19 and the government's response to it and how that's affected the global economy. Now, some of the significant events for Australia was back in February 2018, when we introduced the bail-in laws to Australia, which means the banks and the governments can now confiscate our savings out of our banks. That was a pretty significant event in my world, that's for sure, because that really took away the security of knowing the money in my bank was mine. Now, for the last 12 months, we've had COVID, and we've seen the control that the governments have had over our lives, every aspect of our life, our health, our social connections, what we do. Now, back in March, Scott Morrison notified everyone that Team Australia may need and require your pensions. So there's $3 trillion worth of superannuation in Australia, and we've just popped over the $1 trillion debt. So I feel that, that's a cherry he may decide to start plucking out of. And he can just take that anytime he wants with the other, with the bail-in laws that he's used. So super has been affected dramatically back in March this year when the share market dropped. The Australian share market hasn't rebounded to those levels again. Why has my super been dropping? Because all supers in Australia are heavily tied up with the share market. Even the property in super, in managed super funds, is actually shares in property companies. So when the share market has a tumble, so does your super. So does your bank accounts to go with it, because the value of the money in that bank account is getting devalued by the monetary policy of Australia. We all know we are going into a recession, a big recession. And because Australia is a commodities-based country, the money that is stored in our country is valued on commodities. And as the world slows down, the desire for our commodities goes, and the Aussie dollar goes down as well. The biggest difference is the Americans are printing more money than us. So that's why our Aussie dollar hasn't tumbled like it normally would have. But that time is coming, I'm sure. Now, what are the expectations for our super? Well, look, it's not pretty if you're looking in managed funds. Managed funds aren't going to perform very well over the next 2 to 3 years. That's just a fact. There is going to be some more transparency around those managed funds, which will be really good to see the hidden fees and charges and actually the performance of those super funds. So I decided to take control of my assets. I decided to set up a self-managed super fund, and I've done very well with the decisions that I've made, fitting the risk profile of myself and making money with my own self-managed super fund. I like to be in control. So the next 12 months, if we do deepen into recession, and I expect we will, then there's going to be some shaky and volatile times in the stock market, which is, of course, going to affect your super. Now, some of the solutions that DAXI offers. Now, at the moment, we are living in very disruptive times. So in disruptive times, people look for alternative places to store and grow their money. So we have a blue chip bundle, which is cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and the exchange coin called the DAC coin. So that's a really good, solid cryptocurrency bundle portfolio. So that's one of the options for someone. We also have a precious metals bundle with gold, silver, platinum, and of course some DAC coin as well. It's a really good, solid place to store wealth outside of the banking industry in precious metals. And of course, we've got the DAC pack, which is a very high potential, high growth coin that is used for crowd financing on the platform. So for someone looking at the Daxi platform, it does offer all those 3 different products to fit everyone's risk profile at different levels. Now, you can have a bit of speculator with the DAC coin. You can have some really good growth, solid growth in a blue chip bundle, and you can just store money outside of the banking industry in the precious metals. So the Daxi platform has provided me the perfect place to store all my assets that were sitting in cash, that were sitting in super, into the 3 growth areas that I believe I should be looking at: low risk, medium risk, and higher risk. But I've been involved with the company for 3 years. I know what the company's doing. I know their licensing that they're getting all over the world. The speculator coin that I love is the DAC coin, and I don't think it's a risk at all. So I hope this little video encourages you to look into cryptocurrency more, because there's more to cryptocurrency than Bitcoin. There's also precious metals, and there's some really good alternative coins out there like Ethereum, Litecoin, DAC coin, Bitcoin Cash. There's other coins out there that are really good solid places that they're going to grow, create some wealth for you short term, medium term, and long term. Get some learning into you. Understand more about what you're doing with money outside of cryptocurrency, outside of precious metals, and see the dangers there. Then look into cryptocurrency, look into precious metals, and look into the Daxi platform. That's what I've did. Very happy with what I've done, and I encourage you to look more as well. All the best. Take care. Take some action and learning. Bye-bye.